Welcome to The Herbal Ire, your podcast on all things holistic health, medical astrology, spirituality, herbalism, and so much more. Presented by your host, Ire Atla, medical astrologist, herbalist, and naturopath. Let's dive right into today's topic, love and light. Welcome back to The Herbal Ire. Today's episode is part 2 in the Keys to Happy Healthy Hormones series. This series is a great jumpstart to getting your hormones under control naturally, and I am so excited to be sharing these with you today. So let's jump right in. Hello there, dear listeners. Ire Atla here, back for more Keys to Happy Healthy Hormones. This series is one that is near and dear to my heart, as these are the principles I follow to get my own hormones back where they should be, and the ones that I use with my clients as well. So I know that they work if you follow them, and if you do, you will see that they work as well. So I want to talk about the next 5 keys today. We did 5 last week, we'll do 5 this week, and we'll do 6 in the next episode. Because it's 16 and it doesn't really work out well to divide in 3. But it is what it is. So for the 5 keys today, we're going to start with number 6. So key number 6, eat lots of cruciferous vegetables. So you're probably like, what in the hell is a cruciferous vegetable? So let me help you out there. This is vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, etc. Anything that's in the cruciferous family. So anything that's related to broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower, all that stuff is something to also include in that. So you can Google this and find a list, but the main ones are the ones that I read to you. And the reason we want to eat more of these is they contain components called indoles that support the healthy metabolism and detoxification of your excess hormones like estrogen. And they are also packed with vitamins and minerals and provide a great source of fiber, which helps stabilize your blood sugar and helps keep your bowel movements regular. So it's a win-win-win all the way around, no matter how you look at it. So it is absolutely imperative that you eat this. Pretty much daily. I recommend to my clients, especially ones who are having pretty severe hormonal issues, that they eat 5 to 7 cups of cruciferous vegetables a day. And you want to make them lightly steamed or like lightly sauteed. You don't want to cook them until they're like limp and gross and, like mushy. Okay. That's killing all that good stuff that you're trying to get out of them. So lightly steaming them, air frying them, sauteing them is all great. So I have a recipe that I absolutely love, my family loves, and I make it like multiple times a week. And that is my bacon Brussels sprouts recipe. So pull out a pen and a piece of paper. So what you do is you take about 5 to 6 strips of bacon and you dice them up into bite-sized pieces and you fry them up. While that's frying up, you take your bag of Brussels sprouts, your organic Brussels sprouts that you got from the store, and you clean them. And then I like to cut them in half at least, and some of them that are bigger I'll cut into quarters. So you just want to make them so they're pretty bite-sized pieces, right? When your bacon is done, you're going to pick up all your Brussels sprouts and you're going to toss them in there with the bacon. And you're going to add some salt and pepper, and you're going to saute them until they're nice and green. They get like really bright green, and they're really coated well, and they're seasoned well, and they have like some light charring on them. And then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to drop that in there. I like the organic grass-fed butter from Kerrygold, and that's my favorite. So we put that in there and toss it around, turn off the heat, and serve it with whatever it is that you're having for dinner that night. This is an absolutely amazing way to get Brussels sprouts into you and somebody else who maybe is not super fond of them. Prior to doing my Brussels sprouts this way, I hated them, absolutely hated them. I would rather like die than eat a Brussels sprout. And I literally made up this recipe one day because Brussels sprouts was all we had left in the house, because of course everybody else that lives with me loves Brussels sprouts and I was like the odd man out. And I, out of desperation, was like, let me throw some bacon in here and see if that helps, because like, you literally can't go wrong with bacon. And holy fuck, yes, it was the only way I've been able to eat them. in a very long time. So, highly recommend that for getting in your cruciferous vegetables in a way that works and will make sure you eat them. All right, key number 7, eat lots of antioxidants. And I'm sure you hear this a lot in places and you're like, well, what does that mean? What kind of antioxidants? So, antioxidants are like vitamins and minerals that help support your body in getting rid of toxins and getting rid of the oxidants, right? So, antioxidants, they stop the oxidation process. And so you want to have these because they help support antioxidants help support healthy follicle and egg health inside of the ovaries, which then in turn support healthy ovulation, right? So, ovulation is absolutely necessary for producing the hormone progesterone. And if you're not ovulating, then you don't have healthy levels of progesterone, and then a hormonal imbalance can occur because then you will be estrogen dominant, right? Where you have too much estrogen and not enough progesterone. You need both of those to work in tandem for happy, healthy periods and menstrual cycles. And so, antioxidants really help that. So, vitamin C is an antioxidant, vitamin E is an antioxidant. So, making sure that you're eating plenty of foods and vegetables with those in them. Those are the two main ones, and those are really good. There's a lot of other kinds of antioxidants inside berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. So those are all good for you as well. So definitely add those into your diet and don't be afraid to eat a decent amount of them. They are good for you and they're good for your hormone health. All right, key number 8. We're going to eat plenty of fermented foods. So, fermented foods are foods that have, well, as it says, been fermented. And as such, they are then rich in probiotics, which help support a healthy gut. And a healthy gut equals happy, healthy hormones. Your healthy gut is needed to produce estrogen, especially, but also progesterone. And if your gut is unhealthy, then those levels could be unhealthy, which would result in a hormonal imbalance. Gut health is imperative for pretty much every system in your body to work properly. If you want a happy brain, you got to have happy gut. If you want happy dopamine so that you can focus on things and get shit done, you need a happy gut. If you want to have happy, restful sleep, then you need to have a happy gut. Serotonin, dopamine, melatonin, these are all hormones that are produced in your gut. Your immune system, up to 90% of your immune system is in your gut. So if your gut is unhealthy, pretty much everything else in your body could potentially be unhealthy and imbalanced as well. So the number one place to start whenever you're trying to fix something in your body and bring balance back is to work on gut health. Most of us have really bad gut health after years of diet culture and eating crap stuff because we were feeling bad about ourselves and we weren't maybe putting as much care into taking care of our bodies as we should have. I've been there. I get it. No judgment, just a statement. So, fermented foods really, really help with that. Excess hormones are eliminated through the digestive system. So, if you support the health and function of your gut, it helps support hormone balance. So, this is something you definitely want to make sure you're doing. If you don't know what that is, these are foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, lacto fermented pickles, the bubbies, I think is the name of them. You find them in the refrigerated section with the pickles. Those are lacto fermented pickles. They're really good. These are all things you can make yourself. Kombucha, um, switchel, all good things. You can make switchel at home. I have a really good switchel recipe that I use. If you want it, hit me up at my email or online on Instagram at Twin Raven Naturals, and I will send you my recipe. It's absolutely amazing and it's super quick. It only ferments for 24 hours, but it still gets all the stuff that you need. It's a quick ferment recipe. So it's super easy. No matter how busy you are, you can find time to make this because it doesn't require a lot of time. Another recommendation that I have for learning how to make traditionally fermented foods, if you don't already have some that you know how to make because of your culture that has them. Every culture, it seems, pretty much has some type of fermented food. If you don't know what yours is, or you just don't know how to make it because nobody taught you, I highly recommend the cookbook Nourishing Traditions. It is amazing. It is awesome. It details like exactly how to make everything, how long to let it sit, what to use. It's perfect. It's wonderful. That has a Kindle version and a, you know, book version that you can buy if you are more like me who likes the actual physical copies of books. Absolutely amazing. I use that for so much. So highly recommend that one. I'm not being sponsored by them or anything. I just love them, so I'm passing it on, but no one is paying me to say that. Just so you know. All right, key number 9. Prioritize sleep and avoid excess screen time before bed. So, yes, sleep is imperative to so many functions in your body, and one of those is definitely hormone health. Sleep is absolutely critical for hormone production and management. If you're not getting good sleep, everything else in your body will go haywire. So melatonin is actually a very protective hormone that helps to regulate our circadian rhythm. And part of our circadian rhythm is actually our menstrual cycles. If you're an individual with ovaries, that's part of that. And so if your circadian rhythm gets off, your menstrual cycle gets off, your hormone balances get off, and you start feeling miserable. So sleep is imperative. And it's really hard to get sleep when you're staring at something that's emitting blue light for hours and hours prior to sleeping, and then you try to close your eyes. For every 10 to 15 seconds of blue light exposure, it decreases your melatonin levels for 3 to 4 hours. So, literally, just that quick 10-second glance at your phone to see what time it is at night can actually decrease your melatonin production enough that you do not fall back to sleep and you are not getting good quality sleep then if you do fall back to sleep because your melatonin levels take so long to recover after that. So, blue light is very disruptive to your melatonin production and then in turn can interfere with your hormone balance, which results in issues like insomnia and then a decreased stress response, and then every other hormone kind of goes the same way. So, it's very, very imperative to get sleep. One of the best ways, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, but one of the best ways to make sure that your melatonin levels are where they need to be at night is to get up in the morning with that early morning sunlight. And this is talking about the hours between when it rises to about 10 a.m. You want to get up and you want to get outside into that sunlight for at least 10 minutes. You don't want to wear a hat. You don't want to wear sunglasses. You want to be out there in nature for 10 minutes. You can take a walk, which works as well because it also gets your blood pumping, it gets you sweating possibly, and sweating is very good for your hormone production as well because it clears another pathway that your hormones can be excreted out of, right? So you want to sweat. So take a 10-minute walk. That's all it needs to be every morning. And I am telling you, you will be tired at night. These 10-minute walks in the light emitted by the sun in the morning, which is more of a blue light, right? Decreases your melatonin, it increases your dopamine, and it increases your cortisol. You want your cortisol levels to be high in the morning to help get you up out of bed, get you moving for the day, give you the motivation to get shit done, but you want them lower at night so you can sleep. Same with your dopamine levels. You want your dopamine levels higher in the morning so you can focus and you can do what you need to do and you have the motivation and the energy to do so, and you want them to naturally decrease at night so that you can sleep. So, taking that 10-minute walk in the morning starts getting your circadian rhythm back where it should be. And then if you want to be extra special and just for the fun of it, you can do what I do as well and take another 10-minute walk at night right around sunset when the sun is emitting more red light, which actually helps your body start preparing for sleep because the red light actually increases your melatonin production. And you can do that. We take ours after dinner usually, and then we kind of turn off the electronics after bed and we don't do much with them um, at all. And so that definitely helps you. Another way you can do is get red light bulbs and put them in your bedroom lights so that when you are in your bedroom at night, you have the red light on instead of the blue light coming from the light bulbs. You can have the red lights, read paperback books, have a hobby that's like by hand that you can do instead of being on your phone or watching TV. Try to do this about 2 to 3 hours before your scheduled bedtime. That can really help because it can increase those melatonin levels. And then leave the electronics out of the bedroom at night. If you don't absolutely need your phone in there or a TV in the room, then get rid of them. Plug your phone up in the living room and let it charge out there. Only thing you should have is like maybe a clock, and get a non-digital clock if you can help it. If you can, I know some of us really don't do well with the non-digital clocks. The analogs are not easy for all of us to read, and that's perfectly fine. Toss a towel or something over top of it at night so it's not emitting a glow. Your room needs to be dark, it needs to be cool, and it needs to be quiet so that you can get plenty of rest. Um, so, sleep is imperative. Number 10, key number 10, make sure you are pooping daily. I know, I know. You're like, "Why in the hell are you talking about poop?" I am talking about poop because poop is so important to everything in your body. If you are not pooping daily, you are not clearing toxins that need to get out. The metabolic waste products build up, and then you start getting toxic levels of things that you do not want in your body, and that leads to a whole host of problems. Anybody who tells you that it's okay to poop every other day or every third day or heaven forbid, once a week, kick them out of your lives. You don't need that kind of negativity. You need to poop daily. So, daily bowel movements are absolutely necessary for flushing out excess hormones and toxins in your system. If you aren't pooping at least once a day, you are constipated and you need to find ways to support your digestive health to get more frequent bowel movements. So, you're going to want to get at least 25 grams of fiber a day, and this can be through fruits, vegetables, uh, roughage of some kind, which is like green leafy vegetables, all the cruciferous vegetables talk about tons of fiber, great for that. Apple, but with the skin on, and a ton of fiber in the skin of apples, the skin of grapes, pretty much the skin of everything except for the stuff that you just really can't eat the skin of. All has a ton of fiber. Whole grain organic breads um, are great as well because they usually contain a lot of fiber. So stuff like that, lots of fiber, it definitely will help, and also making sure that you're staying hydrated. If you are not hydrated properly, then what your body does to get the necessary water that it needs is it pulls too much water from your stool. So, part of the process of elimination in your body is when the stool gets to your large intestine, it absorbs more water that you need. If you're dehydrated, it's going to absorb more water than it needs to so that your body can function how it's supposed to. And because your body's always going to find a way to bring balance to itself, right? So if it needs to take more water out of your stool, it will. But in turn, then that makes your stool drier and it doesn't move through your large intestine like it should. And then it's hard to eliminate. So staying hydrated is so important. Um, I found these really good electrolyte packets that you can add to your water that are absolutely fabulous. There no sugar in them. There's no crazy dyes or anything like that. That's not great for your health. They're called Element. They're absolutely amazing. Um, we drink them here. You really only need one a day, one stick a day, so that makes it pretty affordable overall when you purchase them. So again, they're not sponsoring me. I just love them, so I'm passing that on to you. If you want to find them online, that their website is Drink LMNT at .com. So drinklmnt.com. Absolutely amazing stuff. We love them. So highly recommend those as well if you need help prioritizing your hydration. Water, 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 water. Lots of water. Try to cut out the caffeine. Try to cut down on the coffee and the soft drinks that you're having or cut them out altogether. Water, 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 herbal teas, things like that, much better for you overall. Water with the hydration sticks, really good if you're having trouble drinking enough water. Drinking at least a bottle of water with that a day will truly help as well. So, if you're not pooping daily, you're not clearing the metabolic waste properly, your body is not clearing out the used up hormones. And what happens is that the used up hormones are still read by your body as hormones that are available, right? But they're not. And so what happens then is that your body sees, oh, I have adequate levels and stops producing the amount of hormones that it should. So you actually start having an underproduction problem and then an imbalance occurs. So it is absolutely imperative that you poop daily to clear that out. So fiber, hydration, exercising or movement of some sort really helps to get that moving as well, and make sure you're having one daily. Working on making sure your liver and your gallbladder are working properly as well, so dandelion root tea daily with meals can definitely help as well, and make sure that you were eating plenty of whole, organic, unprocessed foods to also help. So, those are the keys today. They're like a combination of nutrition and lifestyle changes, and some are easier than others to implement. I know the sleep one is really hard for so many of us. We've gotten ourselves into bad habits sometimes of staying on our phone right up until we try to go to bed, or watching TV, or having to, have all the lights on in the house, something. And I get it. I totally do the same. I am not perfect at this, but if you find that this is like you're like, "Yes, I need to do this, and I need some support to do this because I know myself, and without that support, I'm gonna fall back into the way I've always done things," then I highly recommend joining my Facebook group. This is where you can get support from everybody else who's in there. You can get support from me because I'm in there frequently, and we can help you stand by the commitment that you are making to better your health and support your body. The name of that group is the Sisterhood Holistic Health and Support Group. That's on Facebook. I would love to see you in there. You can also find me on Instagram at Twin Raven Naturals and DM me or comment on a post, and I will help you there. You can email me info at twinravennaturals.com, which I would love, or you can leave a voice message at the link in the show notes. It's anchor.fm/the-herbal-ire, and that will allow you to leave a voice message, and I can listen to it and I can respond to you. Make sure you leave your email or a way to get a hold of you. If you don't, I will just have to make you your whole podcast episode to respond. So, either way, make sure that you leave a way for me to get back to you on that if possible. So this is just part 2. This is a 3-part series, so don't miss out on the last one. The last one is super imperative as well. These all work together for you to balance your hormone health and restore balance to your body naturally. And if you've started on these, I would love to hear how it's going. Please reach out to me at the above ways that I mentioned. That also be in the show notes for you to find. And I would love, love, love to hear what's working for you, and maybe even some other tips that you've come up with that are working as well. So until next time, love and light. That's it for another great episode of The Herbal Ire. Tune in next week for more valuable content with your host, Ire Atla.